And we're live. Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. Sorry, I am late as hell. Had some technical difficulties on my side. The lights blew up the other day. Had some parts come in from the good old Amazon in order to replace some lights, and they came in last minute. So I was busy trying to get those all squared away. But we are ready to go as far as I can tell from tonight. And double check some stuff. If you're paying attention and we're live and everything looks good, let me know down below what you're drinking tonight. What are you sipping on? I'm still sober, which is horrible. Freaking horrible. I shouldn't be sober right now. I should not be sober at all. Let me see. Where are we at? We're doing a weird one today, or maybe not weird's the right choice, but like a abnormal one for me at least. We are doing a different than normal kind of situation. Let me get some stuff switched over so I can do the whole screen sharing without doxing myself. Okay. That'll work. Here, let's try. Hey, can y'all hear me again? Let me verify speaker. Okay, can y'all hear me again? No audio. Okay. Well, shit. All right. Well, we're back. We're back. Oh, small brand. Okay. So, yeah, sorry. I'm not sure where I left off or where my audio went out. I do apologize on that. Let me know if everything sounds good again. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I moved some stuff around. We're trying out some new things. Shredword, I will be mailing your stuff out likely probably next week if we're being completely honest, just because this week's pretty crazy. But I do have it packed up out here, so you and a few other people getting some packages. Gonna get some Jameson Black Barrel. I need to get my freaking Glen back there so I can start drinking. No audio. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it looks like the cord to my audio mixer got knocked off when I dropped my wallet off the table. All right, Stephen, no audio muted. There we go. Okay, awesome. James, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I thought this is a little bit more like realistic, or maybe not realistic, but a little bit more um I don't know. It's different. It's a change of pace. I've never had my whole body in a shot when I was shooting alone, or well, I did it a few times in the back in the day, but since then I don't know, I feel like the channel needed a change. So this is part of my whole the channel changing in a way, I guess. But yeah, today we are doing some different kind of stuff. We are not really drinking, although I am going to need a drink to get into tonight. So, what's a bottle I have near me? No, I mean, this will be fitting. Actually, no, we're going to drink something better. Okay. Let me just double check something. Yeah, sorry if it looks like total chaos. Today has been a weird freaking day for me. Getting in the habit of being in the chaos. Okay. Cheers, story time. Merry mother effing Christmas. Yeah. By the way, since I'm likely not going to see most of you guys after tonight, Merry Christmas. Hope you and your family have an amazing Christmas. And if you don't see you, between now and New Year's, hope you and your family have a great New Year's as well. Like hope it's fan freaking tastic. Yeah, we are for sure turning down those lights. Those are way too bright. Okay, we're going to get into the video concept. So today, what we're getting into, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Today, what we're getting into, we're doing a little bit of a weird one. So with this time of year, obviously it's the end of the year. I didn't really feel like doing a whole like blind or whatever today. So I just thought we would talk about whiskey, talk about some shit. And since this is the end of the year, everyone's coming out with their whiskey of the year, blah blah boop blah blah. Not a lot of whiskey YouTube people have done that yet. I'll be doing mine this upcoming week after Advent's over, and you're gonna be bombarded with a whole bunch probably next week or the week after that, if not sooner. But subsequently, a lot of these big magazines, I know we talked about it last live stream, the Whiskey Advocate and whatnot, they've been releasing their bottles of the year. So I thought we would just kind of go over them, look at them. Obviously, I'm limited to the stuff I have. Like my whiskey list of the year, about 10 of them are releases from this year, and about 10 are just incredible picks from around the community that I felt had some volume or should be in this list or were competitors to the limited edition stuff. Because I don't get all the cool limited George T. Stagg, William Merlot Weller, like some of these people out there do. So I just thought it'd be fun to kind of go over and see what they thought, share our feelings, our thoughts, see if people are crazy. Like, I know we talked about the bonded last week. But yeah, crazy, freaking crazy. So let's see if I can share my screen. Slides, no, not slides, shit. Bear with me. Share screen, there we go. Alrighty, can y'all see my screen? We'll start down all the way at the bottom and then work our way up. Let me know if you guys can see it or not, and if it's displaying properly. Whew. Yes, sir. All right, awesome. Well, let's get a rocking. Let's go over top whiskey of the years for Whiskey Advocate. We'll just go through a few of them, like a few lists. I know Fred Minnick dropped his ranking today. Honestly, there's not going to be a lot of them that I've been able to try, but we'll skim over that one at least. So first one of this one, whiskey number 20. And this isn't just a like bourbon list. This is a whole just generalized whiskey list, which I kind of like, but also it's so hard to compare a Scotch to a bourbon because they're just so different. Like I try to keep my list inside the whole US whiskey, because at least American whiskey has a general theme or a flavor profile or style where you don't always get that. Like it's so hard to compare a bourbon to like a sherry finished scotch or something. It's just it's a roll of the dice. Like, what are we feeling today? Like, am I feeling kind of malty and peat or finished, or do I like peat today, or do I want to get slapped in the ass by like an Elijah Craig? Fred Minnick's tasting through 100 whiskeys was gnarly. Yeah, that I did 20 for my whiskeys of the year, and it was rough. Like, I was shit housed this week. I did it Saturday night. I did kind of like a quick pass through to get like a general thing, and then Sunday afternoon I did all of it. Whoo-wee, man, it was rough. But okay, yeah, we'll start off number 20. 1 out of 20. Well, good thing Sugar Kitty's not in here to talk shit about how I'm supposed to say this. Craigaleach? Nah, that doesn't sound right. Craigaleach 13-year-old BAS Armagnac finished Scotch. 46%, $65, gets a score rating of 93, and it is a Speyside Scotch. So I know the number one on this list is Jack Daniel's Bonded. I almost promise you, I literally promise you, and I'm a relative fan of the Jack Daniel's Bonded. I promise you I would rather have number 20 than that. And I've never even had that, but it just, I mean, a 13-year-old Scotch at 46%, like that Armagnac finished, I'll take that all day before the Jack Daniel's Bonded. That's just me, though. Craig L. Icky. I don't know if that's what you meant me to say, but that's what I said. David Bass, cheers. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Hope you and your family have an awesome freaking Christmas. So moving on, because I mean, it really depends what whiskeys you tried. That seems, I don't know. It just seems a little random, I guess. But also there's like Japanese whiskey in here. There's Irish whiskey. There's this James Eam 2 years old. What the shit? How is that on a list of top whiskeys of the year? That has to be some phenomenal 2-year-old whiskey. Okay, moving on. Number 19, Teeling Wonders of Wood, Virgin Chinkopin Oak. Chinkopin. I bet I'm putting too emphasis on the N and the K. Chickapin. Oh, Chickapin. That sounds more right. But Teeling's Wonders of Wood, Virgin Chinkopin Oak. So it's virgin oak, 50%, $100. I bet that's pretty expensive, but I mean, non-American whiskey is pretty expensive. Like my 12-year-old Redbreast, I'm like, that's a little pricey for what the flavor brings, but that's just kind of the world of Irish whiskey, non-American whiskey. Should be a separate list for categories. Is there a separate list? No, because this is a list with yeah, because this is of the like world whiskeys, I think. Here, let's just. Okay, that's super freaking helpful. Well, whatever. We'll just go through this. I'll run through this quickly then. Sorry, I didn't know I was boring you guys. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because these are all big brands. I mean, this is Teeling's. That's a really big Irish whiskey brand. Hardin's Creek, James B. Beam. I would assume that means that's a Beam-owned product. 2 years old, number 18. Man, I cannot imagine that is that freaking good at 2 years old. Like, bourbon doesn't start getting really good for me until it's like 4 or 5. Indrid, yeah, so this, I mean, it sounds like it'd be fun and interesting as far as Irish whiskey goes. I just don't have much to say. James, I think that's far too young to be on this list. I haven't had it, obviously. There's very few bottles on this list that I've had that I like can actually speak on, but we're just going off of stats. Ooh, this is going to be a hard one to speak. Indrid Trini the 3 Wood. Oh, Stacy, cheers. Have you had this Teelings? Oh no, I did not mean to click on this. Did you have this bottle this year? If you have, let me know what you thought about it. Is there some validity to it being number 19 out of the top 20 whiskeys of 2022? The Chicopin. Yeah, cheers. Merry Christmas, Stacy. We'll move on for the time being. Indrid Trini the Three Wood. So this looks like a Japanese whiskey. Or oh wait, no, it's India whiskey. I've heard some good stuff about Indian whiskey, so I'd have to give that a try. I just know the biggest market of whiskey is India. So I know they've been making some pretty good stuff. That being said, I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. It just doesn't make sense for that to be there to me. But I've also heard some really good stuff. I've just never tried any of what is it? It's not the IWI. That's Japanese whiskey, the Kavalan stuff. Or wait, no, that's I don't know what country that is, but it's not India. That being said, I do need to try some Indian whiskey. I'd love to get my hands on that if anyone knows of anything. The Chinkapin bottle is way better than the Redbreast Kentucky Oak. Okay. But is it like number 19 out of the whiskeys of the year? I mean, maybe for you, since you drink a lot of Irish whiskey, so I might just be out of my realm or out of my body. Kavalan is Taiwan, yeah. No, I really need to try Kavalan and Indian whiskey because I've heard a lot of good things. I know those are big whiskey markets, and the people there seem to absolutely love whiskey. I have quite a few people who have commented in the past and been like, you need to try this from India. I just have yet to do anything like that. Bushmills 12-year-old, 40%, $60 Irish whiskey. You see, this is the same thought process of this whole Hardin's Creek thing for me. 12-year-old Irish whiskey, nothing weird, no weird finishing on it, nothing exploratory. I can't imagine that is so good that it's going to be number 16 on the list. 40% ABV, that's like drinking water. I mean, I bet if you're into Irish whiskey, I bet it's an acceptable whiskey, but like, I can't imagine it's whiskey of the year or one of the top 20. Bushmills 12 is good, I hear. Okay, I mean, I could be speaking out of my ass. Here we go. Whiskey that is more up my roots. Bardstown Bourbon Company Collaborative Series, Plantation Rum Barrel Finished. Ooh. Wow, that's a hefty price tag on that, though. So, $160 for a likely heavy Dickel blend finished in rum. But rum finishing can have some really good stuff. I've been finding mostly ryes, but a lot of rum finish stuff, because that's starting to become like a heavier finishing series. I'm really enjoying the heck out of those. So I'd love to get my hands on it. I couldn't tell you one way or the other if that was worth it. This, on the other hand, I've heard was not very good. The blackened rye. I could be wrong about that, though. I've tried blackened, the normal blackened, and ever since then I'm like, yeah, Chief, I'm out. I'm not doing any more blackened stuff. Bushmills 12 has a Marsala finish, and it's worth the top 20. Only one I agree with. Okay. I'll take it. Miyagiko peated. Oh my God. That is why I can't get into Japanese whiskey. Look at that freaking price tag. $275 for a Japanese whiskey. That I bet is like at most 6 or 7, maybe 10-year-old peated Japanese whiskey. Like, I bet it's a good pour, but like $275, that's That's at least like 6 or 7 bottles worth of whiskey in my realm, at least. Yeah, and that for the proof is one of my favorite bottles this year because I'm very heavy into proof. Obviously, y'all know me at this point, and I think that Sagamore rum finish is incredible. It's such an easy, nice pour, and it's not overwhelming. It's just enjoyable, and it's like what, $80 or something, and it's finished in rum, and it's awesome. It's like a 49% ABV bottle or something. It's, man, that bottle's crushable. Four leaf, the Bushmills. Oh, I guess yeah, it's only $60. Yeah, maybe I'll try to find that bottle. Okay. Oh, now we're starting to get into some whiskey labels I know. Okay. Or well, kinda. I don't know. Tomatin Cigar Malt Oloroso Sherry Cask finished. $130 Speyside Scotch. I mean, what's the age on this bad boy? What's your age again? Tell me what's your age again? I mean, I bet it could be good. Is it number 12? Probably not, but I mean, I do like sherry finish stuff. Like sherry's starting to become my like favorite finish. And I do like malt, so you know, if the stars align, they align. Number 11, Sweet & Cove Canisi Toasted Sugar Maplewood Finish. Yeah, by the way, let me know down below if I'm saying any outlandish shit because I'm just rambling at this point. Let me know if there's any bottles up here you agree with or any you heavily disagree with. Like, what are the bottles here where you're like, this is an outrage? And we'll get to number 1 because I think number 1 is for sure an outrage. But do you see anything up there that you're like, what the shit is going on here? Like, why? How? I doubt the smaller Irish brands are sending Whiskey Advocates bottles for their whiskey to review. Oh, I guess, yeah, that could be a thing. Yeah, maybe they just review the bottles that are sent, but I promise you they get sent way more stuff than I do. Way more stuff. And like, I've hardly been sent anything, but like, and anyways, I probably wouldn't put it on a list if I was sent it, but they have access to so much more whiskey. And like, it's like, come on, these are the best you freaking had. This is the best you had. Like this Nelson Bros Reserve Bourbon. I lost my cursor. There we go. I haven't bought it because I know it's just a worse. It's just a inferior version of the Belle Meade blend. And I think the Belle Meade blend is fan freaking tastic. I love that bottle. I've killed 3 of those bottles already. I have one sitting there. Yeah, one sitting there that I haven't opened because I want to save it since they're no longer on the shelves anymore because it's been replaced by this stuff. But like that maybe could have made my top 10. Probably not though. And that, from what I've heard, because I haven't bought it because I've heard it's just like a shittier version of that, definitely wouldn't be there. Yeah, got to keep that money in play. Redbreast Kentucky Oak, no freaking way. Is that on this? Oh, okay. Well, we'll get into this. Oh, you know, whatever. We'll skip past it. So this bottle I haven't had. I have the 2012 Isla Barley. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting, but it's not, again, not top. Lemouve, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Don't know. Don't care. It's more Irish whiskey. That's more Stacy's territory. But seeing as how she's talking shit on all of them, I'm going to say hard pass on all of them. Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut. I've actually had one of those. Do I think it's number 7? Probably not. But it is, I feel like it, out of my list at least, the Blue Note Juke Joint could make a top 10. Or top 20, my bad. Top 20 of the year. had I gotten one of those bottles this year. I got a sample. I think it was really good. It could have made my list, but again, I have so much less whiskey than these people do. Like, this is their freaking job. I work so I can do this. They do this for work. You know, it's two completely different things. And I just think, come on, man. This is the best you got. This is the best you got. You got to be freaking kidding me. Middleton Very Rare. Stacy, are we no. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200. Again, another one like that Blue Note, Westward Cask Strength. I have had that bottle. I want to buy that bottle. It's been in my cart. There's so many bottles out there I want to buy that I can't, because, you know, paper, scratch money, finances, things of that nature. Westward Cask Strength, I think, is an amazing bottle. I think it's awesome. I have a pick of it that I think is even better than that stuff. I think it's good. Is it number 5? It's very malty. So if you're a huge fan of malt, maybe, but like, man, it goes deep into the malt. Like, that is a malt bomb. Some people, like some Scotches people refer to like sherry bombs. That's a malt bomb. That's an American single malt bomb. Dewar's 12-year-old. I'm sorry. There's been very few whiskeys where I've like, this is horrible. I think I tried Dewar's White Label. Man, that is just a heinous bottle. Barrel Vantage, a good bottle. Is it number 3? I think it was a little bit weak for Barrel. As far as their stuff goes, I think I think it's good, don't get me wrong. But I think from their bourbon that came out this year, I think that it's better than that Vantage is. Again, I liked Vantage. They actually sent me a sample of that. I ended up buying a bottle because I liked it so much. But I think that one's good. Is it number 3? No, but it's fitting on this list. So these 3 I'm cool with. I mean, I just don't know enough about the rest. This, I think it's a hard pass. That, it really depends. Like, if it's more crushable than the one I have, then maybe, but probably not. And then now, how the hell is this number 1? Like, they had to get bribed or something. I can almost promise you, I've been talking shit about this Dewar 12-year-old. I would rather drink this than probably the Jack Daniel's Bonded. I just don't think Bonded's all that great. Like, it's okay, but is it number 1? Number 1? They didn't even put the triple mash. And objectively, I think triple mash is better than that. Like, if you're going to go Jack Daniel's, why don't you do the fun, cool shit they did instead of just oh my God, it's Jack Daniel's Bonded, but at 100 proof, or Jack Daniel's, but at 100 proof. It's the same shit they've been releasing. They just didn't proof it down to the floor. I don't know. That's a rant. Limavide. Oh. Limavide is good if you can get it for... Yeah, I've never even seen that bottle. I probably would have bought that bottle because I think it's really sick freaking labeling. Well, at least it's priced decently. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't really hate on these that are fair pricing. Like, again, the Barrel Vantage, I know the Blue Note juke joints are like $70 usually. The Westward, I think it's like 90, but it's again American single malt. You're going to incur a price for doing that. Which one was it? The one that Stacy said this, I forgot. Oh, the Bushmills. Yeah, that's $60 for a 12-year-old Irish whiskey. Yeah, that's pretty fitting. I mean, that's pretty much on court. I mean, that's pretty expensive, actually. These are fairly priced. The 50%, $75 Bruichladdich. I mean, anything that Bruichladdich puts out, if you get it at MSRP, it's usually a fair price. And then this Redbreast Kentucky Oak. Stacy said, hard pass. We're not buying that shit. Get it out of here. MVR2, what is that? The stuff? Middleton Very Rare 2022. They just increased their prices again. Oof. Yeah, $200. See, that's the problem when we start getting outside of American whiskey. But I mean, now even nowadays with American whiskey, if it's not the producers that are spending all, or the producers of the whiskey who are upping their prices, it's going to be the stores, because the good shit flies off the shelves no matter what. Like, it doesn't freaking matter at this point. It's, man, life is expensive. I can feel the passion. Sorry, guys, I'm getting caught up on. I don't have the desire to try most of those. Maybe the Bushmills 12. Yeah, I mean, the ones out of this list, like, if I could have these on my shelf, I would have. I would like to try this because I really want to try Indian whiskey. I wouldn't mind this after Stacy's recommendation. That's too expensive. The Bruichladdich I would do because I think that Bruichladdich, the 2012 Isla Barley, the one I have, I think it's incredible. This, I mean, I'll probably buy this eventually. This, I want one on my shelf, have, but because you see that price tag, 30. This, is this the cheapest one on the list? Like, did they lit price? Oh no, but that's a drain pour if I've ever seen one. Like, is this more than just like taste? Is this also involving the price point of the actual bottle? Because that also could have some sort of play. Because I do think the Jack Daniel's Bonded is good for $30, but like, taste wise, man, that's leaving a little bit to be desired. Well, I don't think the Bonded's terrible. I just think the triple mash is so much more interesting. Yep. Yeah, they're pointless paid advertising. Yeah, I don't put a lot of weight behind awards. Does anyone out there put weight behind the awards you see distilleries having or whatever? Cuz like, I feel like half of the bottles out there where you get, it's like double gold in San Francisco World Spirits competition or something. And it's like, man, half of the bottles out there have it, and it's mostly just like MGP whiskey that's been like rebranded and NDP'd out. Pass on Kentucky Oak. Get the Hinch double wood for 35 instead, and you have enough left for Christmas dinner. Not the way I eat. Need a little bit more money for dinner like that. People like the Jack because it's way better than the old number 7. It is better than old number 7, but again, it's just a proof point. Is Blue Note MGP juice? I think it's Dickel. I could be wrong though. It says Kentucky, so maybe Bardstown. I thought Blue Note was Dickel though. Like, I thought it was just good Dickel. Again, could be wrong though. But if it's Kentucky, it's probably unknown, but like, we all know that likely means what is it? Bardstown. Yeah, because Bardstown has been doing a lot of that. I don't like the triple, but not from a cohesive. Did not form a cohesive pour. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little out there. But again, it's a $30 whiskey. You don't expect it to be the most cohesive and put together. It's a wild ride, man. It's like a roller coaster. It's a ballet of emotions. Is a $300 bottle. Ooh. Yeah, I would take the Limavede or the Bushmills 12, and that's about it. I wouldn't buy anything else. But again, I'm not. Again, I'm not the Irish whiskey nerd. More like Puno. The one I had was good. I don't know if it was Dickel or if it was Kentucky, but it was good. So I don't think it was Dickel because I didn't get any of that weird minerality stuff. But I'm also not a huge Dickel hater like some of you out there. Like, I'm more okay with Dickel than most. Not like in love with Dickel, but it's acceptable. Minix list. Yeah, I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, is a lot of those lists just kind of blow up. Okay. Holy shit, we're at 37 minutes. Okay, we're going to run through this. So this is the other one I wanted to do. So just really quickly, best overall whiskey this year, Four Roses single barrel. That is a mainstay bottle. How does that make a list? Not arguably, yeah, I think Four Roses good for price point. The Four Roses just single barrel, non-barrel proofs. I think they're solid. I think they're good. Can you buy it for $22? Fuck no. Not a prayer. But I do think they're good. I think they're solid, but it's definitely not the best overall whiskey from 2022. And it's also not a limited release from 2022. Like if it was small batch select, I would say yeah, but again, that's kind of more on the minty side, so it doesn't totally encompass well-rounded whiskey for everyone. Milton Rare, but okay. Small brand owner told me that the major small guys can't afford to send as much as not. Yeah, and that makes it. I mean, yeah, like they can afford to send it out to 1,000 different people who do reviews and whatnot and all that jazz, and they can afford to dump bottles in other places where, yeah, like my distillery that I work closely with, like he doesn't really send out his whiskey to stuff because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's a lot of money for him with very little return on that investment of him sending that whiskey. Who cares if the snobs run out and buy it all? Fair enough. Okay. So Four Roses single barrel, pass. Best rye, Pikesville rye. Again, same thing with the Four Roses. It's good, but it doesn't fit on this list. Best bourbon, Henry McKenna single barrel. Again, it's a single barrel, and arguably I don't think it was the best bourbon from this year. Best Scotch, the Balvenie Doublewood. I've had this, don't care for it. What is that called? Glenna Leach or whatever, the 12-year-old sherry Scotch I was drinking last week, that stomps this whiskey. West Cork 8-year single malt, best Irish. I couldn't tell you. Stacy, that's more your realm. Best Canadian, Lot 40. I can't imagine the best Canadian whiskey is a 43% Canadian whiskey. That's just me. Best Japanese whiskey, doesn't matter. We don't care. Best peated Scotch, Bowmore 12-year. I didn't know Bowmore was peated Scotch. I would have expected like an Ardbeg or something on that list. Man, this list is a nightmare. Best wine barrel aged. And I think Starward's good, but do I think it's the best? No. Best barrel proof bourbon. Okay, the Stag that no one can find. Oh, and you can buy it on Drizzly for $38. Heck yeah. Best for sipping. Okay, yeah, this list is another nightmare of a bunch of most innovative. What is innovative of that? It's just like here, let's read this. Scotland's Bruichladdich Distillery is always experimenting with new innovations. Experiments in the concept of terroir in their whiskey, aging its annual Octomore series in different barrel types, and often making some of the most heavily peated whiskeys you can find are just some examples. That is not innovative. That is what Scotch producers do. They run a distillery using their old equipment, which is dope as shit, but like it's not innovative to peat Scotch. If anything, that's old school. So you're wrong. You're wrong, Chief. But here, let's get back to my weird whatever accent that was. The philosophy on whiskey. Man, where did I just go, like Australian or something? What the shit? Their philosophy. Oh man, I can't undo that. Oh man. Peter White. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I was like, dude, this is even worse. And this whole most innovative for like a non-peated Bruichladdich whiskey, I think it's good, but like, is it innovative? No. I would say again, bringing it back to triple mash, that is more innovative. That is different. That is something you don't see every day. Guess what? A Scotch producer made a Scotch. Wow. I mean, I guess I can use the same concept of a whiskey producer produced whiskey, but like, yeah, I know they're known for peated whiskey, but they also make non-peated whiskey. That's nothing new for them. This is just a limited edition of it. I don't know. Yeah, like they put a lot of time and energy into their terroir, which I think is cool and dope, but like it's not experimental or innovative. It's just that. Ooh, and Buffalo Trace, the best sub $50 whiskey. Yeah, this list is rough. Oh yeah, yeah. Isla Barley is expert, but not. Yeah, no, but like they set up here that where was it? Experimental experiments in the concept of terroir and whiskey, aging its annual Octomore series in different barrel types, which is nothing new, um, and often making some of the most heavily peated whiskeys. They make peated whiskeys. That's what they do. I don't see that as innovative. I don't know. That's just me though. This is a total shill. We're just done. There's no way. We're not going to get into that. And we're also not going to get into this list. We're going to talk about Fred Minnick's list because this is going to be fun. And I likely haven't had 70% of these whiskeys on this list, but you know, if you guys have, let me know down below. Let me know what you think of his ranking or his comparisons. I'll hopefully be able to find a few that I'm like, I wouldn't put that there, but like I'm not that critical on whiskey. So if it's either good, really good, or bad. And then the whole difference of good and really good is like there's a limit in flavor, and then there's another like variance for me when it comes to price tag. Because I don't like doing a lot of stuff blind. I like to look at the price tag of the bottle and whatnot, the overall whole experience of it. Because yeah, you might get a like smidge better experience from a $200 bottle than you will a $100 bottle, but you can have twice as many experiences with that $100 bottle. So like that's just kind of where I lay. Hardly innovative. Yeah. Might be the best under 20 fall. I'm going Wild Turkey 101 over. Ooh, I'm going Wild Turkey 101 over that. Yeah, but let's get into Fred Minnick's. By the way, if you're in Arizona, this Centennial Rye from Del Bach, not half bad. Not half bad. I mean, it's not super mind bending either. It's just kind of a scat. Or my mind's on Scotch right now because I've been ranting about Bruichladdich, but it's just a solid MGP rye. They do finish it in mesquite whiskey barrels, like mesquite smoked malt American single malt barrels. That being said, I mean, maybe it's smoothed off the edges of the rye a little bit, but I don't know if it really did much. I do own a couple of bottles of Minnick's Greatest Bourbon of the 21st Century, he named. Okay. I would take 101, but it's debatable. Yeah. I think there's more versatility with the 101 because you can also make cocktails where the 101 proof stands up a little better. I know what you meant, Peter. I can't spell either. I use spell check. Okay. So we're going to go down the list. We are, we have a little bit time left. Probably only going about an hour tonight since we have some Christmassy stuff to be taken care of, but we'll go down this list. Let me know your thoughts. So let's see here. 100. Spirits of French Lick. Haven't heard of that. Wyoming Whiskey National Park's 5-year-old. I've had some Wyoming whiskey and I think it's solid. So maybe. I mean, look at this. Like look at all of these bottles he was able to try and whatnot. Like that's ridiculous. This is like me. I mean, my collection is like 150 bottles at this point. Maybe more like 170, but like let's not tell Olivia, okay, guys? Let's just not tell her that. But like him doing this is literally me going through my entire freaking collection. I think this is all just American whiskey. Actually, this all might just be bourbon. Yeah, bourbon or Tennessee whiskey in that case. I don't even see any rye. Is this just bourbon? Oh, American whiskeys. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so even then, like, I think I literally could do this with every single one of my bottles of American whiskey and still not even have 100 bottles. So again, like, man, just the idea who could blind 100 bottles of whiskey against each other and like get an accurate concept? That's just a lot. Like he has to be doing some sort of grading system, but I feel like the grading system is always different day by day. So I don't like doing that. But that's just me. All right, let's get into it. Spirit of French Lick. Don't know. Wyoming whiskey. I've had a sample of one of their bottles one time. I thought it was pretty solid. Frey Ranch quad malt. I don't know what that is, but I want it for $60. Hoo-wee. Malt. So these are two, like, we'll call them sex terms. These are two, not sex terms, but what are they called? Not buzzwords. I mean, they are buzzwords to me, but it's like kind of like, man, I can't come up with the word. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Frey Ranch, like them. I've had a lot of really good samples, mostly of the rye, but still really like them. Frey Ranch Quad Malt, 90 proof, $60. I bet that's 4 different types of malt put together, and that's a nice thing. They're a smaller distillery, so they have the ability to kind of alter and change things and do little tiny experiments. Barrel Vantage, ooh, 97. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. 114 proof. But again, I thought that was good. But honestly, when I blinded it, it didn't do half as well. I thought it was going to be top 5. Didn't make top 5. Chief did not. Middle West Berry Batch. No idea what that is, but I do like Middle West. Barrel Gray Bourbon. Have not tried that. Has anyone had any of the Gray series from Barrel? Like, what do you think about that stuff? I don't know. I have a feeling it's all just like very, very expensive for what it is. But let me know down below. Barrel Leopold Bros 3 Chambers Rye. Ooh, I didn't. Oh my God, that price tag. Golly. That's rough. Okay, we'll go through this. Pursuit United. I've had their stuff. I think they do a really good blend. Starlight Double Oaked. I like Starlight. I like Double Oak products. I bet that's pretty good. Ooh, Doc Swinson's Lamante 114 proof. I like Doc Swinson's. I think they do a really good job blending MGP. And I don't know what Lamante is, but I'm cool with some experiments. So I say full send that. Northwest Bourbon, cheers. Nice to see you. Merry freaking Christmas, man. Hope you and your family are having an amazing holiday season. Dueling Grounds, 4-year bottled in bond. I'm not even pronounce that. Peg Leg Poker 8-year rye. 105 proof. Man, I don't know half of these. Angel's Envy cash strength is only 85. Man, what is he putting ahead of these things? That's like one of the better bottles most years for people. Penelope cash strength 4 grain batch 12. I've heard amazing things about that. I cannot wait till Penelope hits Arizona. It's going to be ridiculous. Okay. Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. Well, at least that didn't get super high. Nelson Green Brewers Classic 91 proof, $37. Didn't do super well either. Woodinville Whiskey Co. Straight Rye. Dang, that's really high. Brothers Bond Cash Strength. What is that? No, that's different. I don't know what Brothers Bond is. Oh wait, is that Vampire Diaries one? I think that's the Vampire Diaries one that the Bourbon Bar Holden always brings up. Smoke Wagon Malt Straight Rye. That one was one of those bottles I really wanted to get my hands on this year. Cause that's like fun. It's malted rye. I don't know. I think that's a cool concept. I have a bottle like that we tried last week. It didn't really do well compared to other stuff, but I still think it's a fun bottle despite that. Yeah. I heard that bottle's good. I mean, mostly only from Holden. I wouldn't buy their whiskey. I know he likes it, but like, man, I got so much other whiskey I want to spend my money on. That's not even remotely on the to-do list. Kentucky Peerless Small Batch Reserve. Maker's Mark BRT 01. Man, I'm so pissed. I wasn't able to get any of the Maker's Mark BRT bottles this year. So pissed. Trying to sabotage your best trade bottle. Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. I mean, they're not well known for their rye. Like, they're pretty much just trading on their name credit with that rye, I'm assuming. I can't imagine it's incredible compared to other things. Have you had that? What do you think about it? And again, it's year by year. So your batch might just be incredible and their batch was like so. Jack Daniels Triple Mash. Oh, that's wild. He scored Jack Daniels Triple Mash above like some heavy hitters like the freaking Barrel Gray Bourbon. Like, I know it's probably not $250, but like, I bet it's still a good bottle. Really? Small batch rye or bourbon? Because I have a Driftless Glen small batch bourbon, and I'm like, man, I don't like it. It's okay. Like, I don't hate it, but like, man, old MW Tar 7-year. I think that was the one Shane from Storytime was talking about last week, and he loved that bottle. He said it was one of the best bottles he's had this year. I could be wrong, but I thought it was good. K. Luke Batch 1. No idea what that is. Woodinville Whiskey Co. Straight Rye. Oh shit, I'm somehow way behind. There we go. That's where it was. Remus Repeal. I mean, the Repeal batches are usually pretty good. This year wasn't as good as the rest. I haven't had the luck of trying it, but that's what I've heard from people. Heard Green River was incredible for what it was. Uncle Nearest. I mean, man, these are a lot of Cedar Ridge, Port Finish Rye. Ooh. 2XO Dixon Deadman right here. Chattanooga Bottled and Bond. I had my first Chattanooga sample yesterday. It was a 111 proof Chattanooga bottle, and I thought it was awesome. Do I think it was incredible? No, but like, man, I need to get a bottle of that. I really want to try that stuff again. Let's keep going down this. Redwood Empire Grizzly Bourbon Bottled in Bond. I mean, that was good, but man, he has some hitters up here. Like, I need to know what score he's using, because he has to be putting price into this in one way or other, because it's just, man, there's a lot of hitters being beat by like bottles objectively they should not be beating. Traded a Saz 18 rye for it. Okay. Driftless Glen Rye is better. Yeah, that's what I think. Green River, 90% Sean did a review. Okay. I don't think I ever saw his review, but I've heard some good stuff about it. I mean, it's not here in Arizona. Smoke Wagon, Bib Rye. No, that's the malt. I think it's cash strength and it has like a malted rye in it. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Elijah Craig B522. $60. He needs to update his price point. I haven't seen any of them for under 80 nowadays. MB Roland Still Barrel Proof Batch. No idea. New Riff 4 Rootstock Malted Rye. I know the New Riff Malted Rye was incredible for what it was. So, ooh, what the heck? Doc Swinson's blender cut is all the way up here above like an ECBP. I have this. It's good MGP blend, but like, is it beating an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? Not a prayer. What the heck? No. Not a prayer. Number 45. What the shit? Yeah, how is that beating? That's just 100 proof MGP blended rye. That's beating an ECBP? What the heck? What the heck? Oh, now I have like some really validity. Given I didn't have the B batch this year, but like, come on. This is beating the Remus Repeal Maker's BRT 01. I mean, maybe the 2XO from Dixon Dedman, given I haven't had that, but like, come on, man. I've heard that one's incredible. Garrison Bros, Guadalupe. I mean, yeah, Texas is Texas. Not a lot of people love that. 4Gate 8-year-old port finish rye. That sounds awesome. Willet 8-year-old rack back bottle weeded bourbon. Oh, is that the black bottle? Oh, Willet. I heard that one wasn't very good. 291 Colorado rye Aspen maple syrup barrels. That sounds amazing. I need to get a bottle of 291. We're kind of close to Colorado. I mean, not really, but like I could get one in theory somehow. Ben Holiday Bourbon. Blade and Bow 22 year Kimchi Redwood Empire. Okay, I've had samples of these too. I think they're both pretty good. They're good for like the pricing. Are they like severely high in this list? I don't know, man. Distilling peated Sauternes segment bottled and bond 5-year-old rye A122, man. Barrel Seagrass rye green label. I mean, these are all good bottles seemingly. It's just their order is a little funky for me. Yeah, I need to get a bottle of the Alter Ego Cash Strength because the blender cut I like for the $49.99, $50 I got it for. That being said, I still think I like the Alter Ego better, and it's like way lower proof and it's more money. But I think the quality overall is still better. Still a little bit better. Not by a lot, but better. Bullet Cask is supposed to be pretty freaking good. Bullet Cask Strength. I've never actually had that. I mean, again, once you get to that like price point, there's so many bottles I want to buy. When I see a bottle of Bullet, I'm like, yeah, hard pass, brother. Nassif Family Blended Rye. I like Nassif Family Estate stuff. Like, I mean, I've pretty much only had Obtainium light whiskey picks from them, but I like Nassif, so well deserved, man. Booker's 2022-02 Lumberyard batch. That's no. What the shit? Fred Minute, come on, man. Come on. Booker's? beating ECBP or some of the other hitters you put up on that list? What? No. Booker's 2022-02 is good. Right? Shit. I have it right here. It's a good bottle. It's a real good bottle. It's a good bottle. Got it for $100. Still tastes pretty good. Is that beating an ECBP? Not a prayer. Those are cash strength 12-year-old Heaven Hill bottles, which, yeah, they're a little nutty. This is also, guess what? A little nutty. No, just no. Is anyone else like physically upset that this is this high on this list? I think it's a good bourbon, but like, come on, man. Again, all the bottles I've seen on this list so far seemingly are either good or seemingly good. It's just where he put them. I'm like, I do really like that 2022-02 though. I think it's a good bottle. Smooth Ambler Contradiction Rye, like a $40 rye, which, I mean, yeah, price point doesn't really matter, but let's call it 105 proof rye that's likely 5 to 6 years old is somehow better than, let's just go here with where was, like the Maker's Mark, freaking Remus Repeal. We can go all the way up here to Barrel Vantage, Barrel Gray Bourbon. I mean, yeah, again, $250 bourbon, so it's probably not worth it in itself, but arguably the whiskey has to be better. Ooh, at least they didn't do us wrong. They put Elijah, or he, I say them, like he's a whole ass community of people. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C922. That was a really good freaking bottle. I can't disagree with that. That belongs up here. Larceny beating it, that's a sin. These need to be swapped. These need to be swapped. That is a mortal sin. No. You need to go to church and say a few Hail Marys or whatever church going folk do, because that is, you lying, brother. You lying. That's brutal. Ugh, you did me dirty. Smoke Wagon, uncut and unfiltered. I mean, yeah, those are pretty good MGP blends. Sweeten's Cove is no. Doc Swinson's Tawny Port Finish Bourbon. That sounds incredible. Old Fitz, Discovery, blah, blah, Boulder Spirits, 5-year-old. Yeah, again, all these are like good bottles. Booker's 20. I mean, I didn't have that one, but like, they just seem out of list. And then, of course, BTAC's the winner. Of course. Because a BTAC bottle can't not freaking win. Come on, man. Come on. This is, again, like, I bet all these are pretty good bottles, but like, man, are they whiskey of the year bottles? Probably not. Probably not. Whatever. Lucky 7 proprietary, 14-year-old not on the top 100 list, fail. Well, what I'm assuming is, so since he has like, so you'll see a lot of, so you're seeing a lot of this whole, where are we at? So we're seeing a lot of Doc Swinson's on here. We're seeing a lot of Van Winkle. So we're seeing some Buffalo Trace. We saw some Heaven Hill with the Larcenies and the Elijah Craigs. We've seen a lot of Jack Daniels. I mean, maybe not, but like there's a lot of repetitive names on this list. A lot of Buffalo Trace, a lot of Heaven Hill, a lot of MGP bottles. I mean, MGP kind of still owns the town with everything, but like we're seeing a lot of the same bottles. So I bet these are all bottles that were like sent to him over this year. Yeah, like let's see if we can we punch in here? No. Whatever. But yeah, like these all don't look super empty. It looks like he was probably sent these and whatnot. I don't know, because there's not a huge like variance of the kinds of whiskey he has. It's a lot of, you know, what barrel products, a lot of, I say a lot, but not really a lot, but Heaven Hill, Elijah Craig, or Heaven Hill, Jack Daniels, Buffalo Trace, a lot like what we said on the previous list. It's the bigger name brands that are getting out there. Given there are some that are smaller in here, like this Boulder Spirits Colorado. I mean, that's a pretty big Colorado distillery, but it is still not a huge distillery. Bardstown, or not Bardstown, where were we? Yeah, and I know Redwood Empire likely sent him this stuff because they've even sent me some stuff in the past, and I'm small as shit comparatively. Woodinville, there we go. Yeah, so Woodinville's in here. But outside of that, like all these are all like huge brand names. I mean, Starlight's kind of smaller. Penelope's still smaller, although they're like blending. A lot of these people are like it's blending or they're big distilleries. Balcones, although again, Balcones, they're probably one of the bigger Texas distilleries out there. I think it's like them and what were they? They were up here previously, Garrison Bros. Which I love that a Balcones bottle beat Garrison Bros because Garrison Bros is just that's a rough Texas whiskey, and I love Texas whiskey. Yeah, I need to try that Lucky Seven though. I've heard some amazing stuff from them. Old Ezra is pretty damn good. I haven't tried any Old Ezra. Or oh wait, no, I had a sample of an Old Ezra bottle. I thought it was pretty good. Fred is the Jim Murray of America. Okay, that makes sense. I see that. Wait for Mash and Drums top list. Yeah, and I think what I'm taking away from this whole list or this whole whatever conversation we're going through is the whiskey YouTubers or maybe like smaller blogs. I don't know. I'm not very heavy in the whole blogging community or whatever, but like those people, you're probably going to find a little bit better, like more, let's call it intimate lists. Again, not all of us have the availability to buy all the wacky, crazy stuff. Like I probably have about 10 limited releases from this year, and like 3 or 4 of them are like low proof bottles. And then the rest are like limited edition hitter type bottles that I'll hunt. And then the rest are like picks. Picks have become a huge thing. So like that's what's going to be on my list a little bit, not like heavily, but I'm going to sprinkle in a few picks in between here or there. And I think that's just kind of a more intimate, more realistic version of these best whiskeys of the year, because you're not going to find half of the whiskeys these people put on these lists. And if you could, I mean, shit, Kiamachi 8 years, $150. Like it's just not realistic. Like we're all not made of money. We can't do this. So like these lists are just freaking wild. I don't know. They don't make much sense. But I hope, like you said, the whole I'm going to wait for Mash and Drum, them Bourbon Junkies, like that's all a more realistic approach or a more realistic look at, a general consumer's perspective. And even then, you might not be able to get all the stuff that they have on their list because they have a higher availability to go out and hunt stuff. Like they do that for a living, or they do it for adjacently for a living. But again, it's still going to be better than a lot of these shill lists. I'm going to read some final comments and then I'll head out here for the day. Thank you all for coming in and watching. And again, if for whatever reason I don't see you all again, happy holidays. Hope you and your family have a great freaking holidays. Hope, the new year is great. Hope it's just a fun weekend overall. I'm super glad that Christmas is on, or Christmas and Christmas Eve are on a Saturday, Sunday. Like, it should be like this every single year. Like, we should just move Christmas. It doesn't need to be exactly on the 25th. It should just be that Saturday and Sunday, because that's awesome. PTO is easy. I get a Monday off too. That's a 3-day weekend there. Huge win. No turkey on that list. I call BS. Although I don't think I got any limited releases from Turkey this year. I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't. Not that I don't like turkey, but like, man, with turkey, I'm like 101, rare breed. That's all you need. If I can find one of their Masters collections, I'll buy it as long as it's at a good price. I just haven't seen them in forever. Maybe a Russell's was on there. I didn't see any. Russell's pick would be better than many of those. Yeah, I've had some Russell's pick this year that have been pretty awesome. All right, guys, this has been a great episode of Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. Thank you all for coming in, hanging out. Again, if I didn't mention previously, do me the favor, like, comment, subscribe, hit the like button. Helps me out a ton. Also, go check out all the fantastic people who have channels who popped in here, especially 4 Leaf Whiskey, helping me out with a lot of those Irish whiskeys that I know not a single thing about. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. This has been Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.